Hello and welcome, everybody. I appreciate you all coming in today. Rack, thank you for the fantastic send over. Um, Special guest today, Sean from the Peck Tech YouTube channel. I appreciate you being here, my friend. It's uh, this guy right here. There we go. Let me get my finger directions correct. There. Um, just an amazing guy. I've gotten to go over to his house and play some games and look at his tanks and do some video stuff. And now he's been kind enough to grace us with his presence on here. So I appreciate that very, very much. I'm going to run through real quick and just say some brief hellos to everybody. I know we've got a lot of people in here. I want to say thank you all for coming in today. It's going to be a really, really good day, really fun time. We've got Dank Tank's Pegasus Arena, Griffin Fish Room, Chevy Fish, Muppet 929, Hat Trick Farm, John Cox, Chewy LTD, Pet Exotics, Roxanne Barnes, Tiffany White, Jessica Spade, Heather's Aquatics, Sandy Dowdy, Dragon Lair, Pegasus Arena, Scully Fish, lots and lots of people, Danikin Aquatics, Small Fry Aquatics, lots of amazing, awesome, not just people, but members as well, sporting that awesome member badge. I really do appreciate y'all very, very much. If you have any questions for Sean or myself, feel free to throw those in the chat. I'll be keeping an eye on that. If you'll put the @Fishroom Fever sign ahead of it so it highlights for me, that way I can do my best to catch those, and I will try to also catch anything that's not highlighted as well. But for anybody that doesn't know about you, Sean, will you tell us a little bit about your channel and how you got started in the YouTube community?
Okay. Yeah, I've made videos on a number of different subjects, and I guess I started. I got into YouTube because I liked, I kind of wanted my own show, and I liked making videos. I actually went to the public TV place here in town. I guess I wanted to make a Wayne's World episode or something more like that, and I kind of went through their little class on video editing and stuff like that, and which was really just an Apple tutorial on how to use iMovie. I used some of their equipment and I kind of messed around, and I had to they had all these rules, first of all, and you had to adhere to a specific schedule, and then the best I could hope for is that way late in the middle of the night here in Knoxville only, someone might see the show, and I get no feedback, and I was like, this sucks. This isn't, I want something where I can interact with people. I want to have at least the possibility of being seen, all over the world. And YouTube came along, and I decided, well, maybe I'll make a viral video.
Right.
I think so many people, especially 10 years ago, was just like, oh, I can make that perfect pet video and I'll be famous. But I made a number of videos. I actually started off interviewing the Hard Knocks roller derby team.
Okay, yeah.
I was real into roller derby at the time and stuff. So I made a couple of roller derby videos, and I made a couple of aquarium videos. And I just kind of I've been keeping aquariums for probably 5 or 6 years before I started YouTube. And I was really going on there and looking at a lot of research and stuff. And I made a couple of videos for aquariums that did better than anything else I've done. And I did an unboxing and setup for a Fluval spec, and Fluval really liked it. The company really liked it and kind of shared it. And then that got lots and lots of views, and I just kind of went from there. If you come to my channel, a lot of what you'll see, I'm trying to diversify my content a little bit. I've done so many things over the years, from satire and comedy to real informative stuff, like some topical subjects. My most popular videos are usually around products, different kinds of products, unboxings and demonstrations and previews. I don't when I open a new product, I do a preview versus a review. I don't judge it before I've really had a chance to use it for a long time. I try to also keep people updated when I do a tank project, like the ones you see behind me. You can see at least every 6 months I'll do an update and kind of let you know where they are. So a lot of people like to follow my projects over the course of a long period of time. And some of my oldest tanks are, 10, 15 years old. So
Yeah, you've got some amazing, well-established stuff. And I was, you mentioned Knoxville, which is, of course, where I'm at as well. I was pleasantly surprised because I had followed you before I got into doing the fish tube thing myself, and then I found out you were in Knoxville. Um, Never imagined that I would get the opportunity to meet you, and then go over to your house, and then end up doing video with you, and here we are now. So that's been wonderful.
YouTube's super lonely. Like I was in this, and I don't mean like boohoo, I'm so lonely, but I mean, I was kind of in this thing, and all the friends I had that had the same interest in it, and like YouTube and fish keeping as a dual hobby, they're kind of meshed together, kind of intertwined. Uh, there's so few people like that I knew that did that. So everybody I knew that was like that was so far away, and I was really glad to find you and Ed, who isn't too far away. He's
Yeah.
not very far away,
And
and
Bob
a
Taylor,
few other yeah, and a few other Aquaman Knox. There's a few people around that uh, that are close by, and I'm glad to make your acquaintance. And you're a lot of fun to have over and play games with too.
well, I appreciate that. And then, of course, we've got Rack in good old downtown Mountain Home, Tennessee, as he would say.
Yeah,
Um,
he's not far.
no, not at all. I've got some plans to go up to his house, hopefully in the near future, and do some fun things. Real quick, I want to say thank you, Zen Ginger, for the $2 super sticker with the big red arrow, saying she is here. Not only an awesome moderator and a member, but also throwing the super stickers in. So thank you very much for that. I'm going to grab a couple of highlighted things real quick from the chat, if you don't mind, Sean.
Sure. Go for
Let's
it.
see. We've got Gina French says, Fisher and Fever, where's my high? LOL. Hello, Gina. Good to see you. Another awesome
Hey,
member
Gina.
there. Small Fry Aquatics, another member, says, Fish Room Fever, non-fish question, is that a lap steel over Pectec's shoulder? So
A
I
lap
guess,
steel?
yeah, I guess
Probably not, because the guitar.
oh, yeah.
So this guitar here is actually more artwork than guitar, but this was an old Harmony guitar, like the kind you get at Walmart. I found it at a pawn shop, and I redid it as a steampunk guitar in one of my earlier videos.
Yeah, and I will say that the current video does not do the thing justice in terms of the beauty. It is absolutely gorgeous.
Usually this lights up, and I've got one of those little things that kind of has like a flickering flame light, but it's since become I think the battery's burned out on it, so it stopped working. But yeah.
It is a very, very beautiful piece. Crystal's Pets and Plants, another member, says, at Fisher and Fever, hello. Hello, Crystal. Good to see you. Then we have the Zen Ginger dropping the link for the Peck Tech channel. I would appreciate it if you all, anybody that's in here, if somehow you're not subscribed to Sean, go over there and check him out. I think you'll enjoy it. Hit that subscribe and the notification bell, because he's got some really cool stuff. You're kind of the, and you mentioned Fluval really liking your product. You're kind of the Fluval aficionado, if you will, on kind of in the fish tuber group. You're a really big Fluval product guy.
I really am. I mean, I'm not sponsored. They've sent me product. I won't, so that helps. Right. Somebody sent you a couple $100 aquarium, that's definitely helps. But I do keep it real about how I feel about them too. Like, so, and they've been good about taking a little bit of criticism without, cutting me off.
And that's awesome that they can do that. A lot of companies are not that way. If there's any criticism, a lot of times they tend to say, "Oh, we're gonna move on." But I really enjoy your Fluval stuff.
Well, I genuinely like all their products, or not all their products, but I genuinely like most of their products. So it's it's definitely not a big deal to me to promote them, or to keep showing their stuff over and over again. And I think it's a value to them, even if I like it or don't like it. It's a value to them, because if I open something and I show it to you, even if it's not for me, it might be for someone else. You know, it might be something they want to try. So
Absolutely. We all have, different needs, especially with so many different aquariums. A lot of us keeping multiple aquariums. Real quick, I've just got to say, Rack with the River Life, who just had an amazing live stream. We just came over from there, throwing $20 in the chat. It's a special
my
fun guest.
goodness,
River Life, I appreciate you very, very much, brother. Just an all around awesome community member. He was one of the very first people to welcome me into the fish tube community. Him and then first person I met was Bob Kaler and Chattanooga Ed, but Rack has been there throughout my journey, if you will. And I see that I got clicked over to top chat somehow. Let me fix that. There we go. So Rack, thank you very, very, very much, brother. Awesome friend, member, and throwing the $20 super chat. So thank you for that.
Rack was the first YouTube fish keeper that I ever had over to my house.
The first internet weirdo, as we put it.
Yeah, stranger from the internet. My wife and I have a no strangers from the internet rule because I used to do interviews with bands all the time, and they'd come through town. I'd be like, "Hey, this band's coming through. Can they stay?" And she'd be like, "No, damn it, no, they can't stay." But Rack was a super nice guy. He left his card over at a fish store I go to, because he knows that he's seen me filming there and stuff. He left a card for me to contact him. Okay. And I went and found him and said hello, and eventually he came over, and what a nice guy. Yeah, really super nice guy. I enjoy talking to him a lot.
He really is, and he is an amazing community builder. That sounds like a Rack thing to do with leaving the card there, just to try and reach out and grow the community.
And Bob's super nice too. I see Bob. I run into him from time to time. So
again, we've just got such an amazing community, and that's kind of why I wanted to have you on here, because I mean, you've got a much larger channel than mine. You're well over 40,000 subscribers, but I want to make sure people know that you're an awesome part of this fish fam, this wonderful fish tube community, and show you some support.
I'm one of the granddads of YouTube now.
Yeah, because you've been around for a while. I was extremely blessed. Speaking of blessings, I'll follow that up here in a second. But Mr. Zen, another awesome friend, member, and a brother of the internet, says $20 for the Anything Fund. Winky face, winky face, winky face. Mr. Zen, love you, brother. I appreciate you very, very much for that. You know that means the world to me. So thank you. He likes to get me blushing. So if I start blushing on you, Sean, my apologies. But thank you, Mr. Zen, very much for that.
What is this Anything Fund?
I think that was simply a follow-up to Rack's $20 chat with the special guest fund. And so he just said it's the Anything Fund.
I was going to say, I need to... Don't tell my wife about my Anything Fund.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, I was rather blessed, I guess, at the timing that I came into the community, because as you mentioned, it can be a lonely place, but I didn't have to go through that. I came in and there was this huge support net, and people just kind of welcomed me in with open arms and said, hey, come on in, the water's nice, what can we do to help you? If you've got anything, as Rack would say, to bring to the buffet's over there, just don't spit on anything else we've got on it. So I was blessed in that. And then the video that we did together on your channel, the Fluval Speck with Mr. Fever, I think is what it was titled. Yeah, that was a blessing and a surprise in and of itself. I showed up. I'd ask you if you would do a video with me, and I showed up, and I was like, awesome. I get to do a video with Peck Tech. Never did I imagine that you would be, gracious enough to host me on your channel. And then I walked through the door, and you've got your lights and everything is all set up. And I'm like, I don't know why I'm a little nervous. I've done a lot of videos and a lot of live streams, but I'm kind of nervous now. So thank you very much for that. Not just opportunity, but that experience.
How different was that than what you normally do? I mean, I know you do a lot of live streams, but you do other videos too. Was that
I do.
Different?
I think the how nice your setup was one of the things that kind of, I don't want to say put me on an edge, but made me a little bit nervous, because you've got the nice quality lighting and your really nice cameras and whatnot. And I've got a Note 8 and a Samsung S20 Ultra and a gimbal off of Amazon, and so it
I
was slightly
yeah,
intimidating, but I loved it.
I started off with a camcorder I bought to film my daughter when she was a baby, and like a little teeny tiny little camcorder. It eventually died. Oh, I miss that thing. It took the best video, but if phones had been like, I mean, 10 years ago, 10 years ago, phones were terrible. I mean, as far as like what they can do now, I'm on my
Right,
phone right now. You're probably on your phone too, but or you might be at your laptop. But you couldn't do this kind of stuff on a phone. Where
right.
now they're an incredible tool, and really anybody out there that's trying to get started that has a story to tell as something they want to talk to the world about, don't wait for a camera. You can make 100 videos on your phone and eventually get that camera if you really want it or need it. But to me, I'm starting to wonder if I went too far. Like I've put so much into the production of my videos that it makes them hard to create. So I mean, I was struggling to make one video a week, and I did pretty good. Like for many, many years, I did at least one video a week. I grinded it out, and that was hard. Um,
Absolutely. Well,
but whereas I could maybe have made a lot more videos if I'd streamlined the process and maybe not been so focused on different types of equipment and really lighting and things like that. So
absolutely. You've got two things I want to talk about there, but real quick, I've got to say Diego with Pet Exotics / multiple aquariums. I am adjusting to the name change. Another member throwing $5 at us as well, says contributing to the anything fund. LOL winky face. Diego, my friend, thank you very, very much. I need to get with you and order some more fish food off your website there. He's got some awesome stuff going on. Thank you for the $5, Pet Exotics. And I saw one more, and it was indeed the lovely Gina French, another member. I'm trying to acknowledge all of you members more when I see you versus just going through a list at the end. I don't feel that's nearly personal enough, just naming everybody off at the end of the stream. So thank you very much, Gina French. $10 just contributing. LOL. Such an amazing group of people. I am the motivation that I have gotten from this fish tube community is what has led me to, as I was talking to you the other day, follow my bliss. I was extremely unhappy where I was at, and I said, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to get out and enjoy life. And the motivation that I received from the people that watch and the support from the people that are, creators, made that kind of spark grow, and then gas got poured on it. So I appreciate you all very much. But you mentioned two things, one of which was start with your phone, and I'm a huge proponent of that. I've always preached. People ask me, well, what do I need to get? And I would say, well, generally you can start with your cell phone, and then don't upgrade. I mean, unless you just have the money to do it, don't upgrade until you feel like the technology is holding you back. If you feel like there's something you really, really need to do that would add value and you just can't do it with what you've got, by all means, then upgrade if you can. The second thing was you mentioned the weekly videos. You still put out generally a video once a week, correct? What's your release time
usually.
on that? Yeah. For anybody that doesn't know, when do you release your videos?
Sunday at midnight.
Sunday at midnight. And
Almost like clockwork every Sunday at midnight. I did nothing last week. Well, I actually have been working on a project that's kind of fighting me a little bit. And because of that, so I've been furloughed I work for a movie theater company, Regal Entertainment Group, is my day job. And I've been furloughed for a few months now. I'm starting to lose track. The date, I don't even know what day it is. What is it, Monday? Every day is kind of Saturday for me right now.
Right.
So I've increased production of videos quite a bit, where sometimes I'll do 2 or 3 a week. I also have a board game channel, and I've been making videos. That kind of had gone dormant for about a year, so I started making some videos for that too. But last week, amid all the strife in the world and some other personal things going on, I couldn't produce anything. that's very rare. Like it feels like when I don't make a video, it's become such a part of what I do in my persona that it hurts a little bit when I don't make one. I feel like I've let people down.
I can understand that. Then there also, at least for me, there's kind of that connection with the community, and I don't get that. Like if I miss a live stream, like you said, it feels like I've let people down, and then I just don't get that connection with everybody that I'm used to. I do see a super chat I will get to in a second, but I don't want to pass this question because it is highlighted. Pegasus Arena said, oh, no, it has jumped on me. There we go. Fish Room Fever question for Peck Tech. How did you get over the nervousness of being new to YouTube streams?
You know, I am not over it. There's a reason I don't do a lot of live streams. You know, it's kind of like I love this, like hanging out with you is great because I don't have to do all the work. Like you're reading the things that people are saying and kind of responding. You ask a question, you can listen for a little bit. When it's just like me talking by myself, oh my God, I hate it. Because I stumble over my words. I don't. I get really. So I have ADD. So the comments popping up, like really super distract me. And usually, what I do when I do a live stream, I'll pick a topic, and I'll ignore the comment. I'll say hi to everybody for a minute. Then I ignore the comments, like I just kind of put them away, and I talk about whatever I'm going to talk about. I try not to say anything that people will want to cancel me for. and then I open up the comments and I just talk to people in the comments, you know, usually for the last 30 or 40 minutes because it's always double the time I spend on the topic. But I always want to make a video where people might want to watch it later.
Absolutely.
And so I try to just cover the subject matter. But I tell you, like hanging out with you versus doing it by yourself is tough.
Well, and
it's really tough. So one way to get over it, to like answer the dude's question, one way to get over it might be to come on a group live stream with someone like James here or Ed or God, everybody's doing live streams. So, or me, you know, I need to have guests. Maybe that's what I've been doing wrong all this time.
absolutely.
I need to have some people on with me to kind of help me out with this stuff.
It definitely does make it easier to have others with you. And of course, you're welcome on any time, and I would be more than gracious and humbled if you ever wanted to have me on to shoot the breeze, if you will. But yeah, that's fantastic advice. And I know Pegasus Rena, that asked that question, she just started streaming this past week. She actually asked Chattanooga Ed and myself on for her first stream a lot for that reason, besides, you know, wanting to have us on just to kind of help with the nervousness and having other people to banter back and forth with. So that's definitely a phenomenal tip right there. The only other thing I would say is be aware that things will happen. Even people that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers will tell you stuff's going to break. Things are going to happen live. You know, just be ready for it to happen. It might not have happened in 2 years. Eventually it will. So don't freak out when it does, and just enjoy the ride. We've got a couple. Sorry, go ahead.
I have one more thing to add too.
Yeah,
one
absolutely.
Of my first live streams. My first couple of live streams, I was doing it through some software, not OBS or any of the stuff that they use now, but this is probably 6-7 years ago, and I'd done some things, and it was like almost as much work as making a video, so I kind of stopped doing it. Like I didn't tend to do like just like pick up the phone and do a live stream, and they didn't have stuff like we're using now.
Right.
That didn't exist. Then right when I did the steampunk tank, they had kind of opened up. They put a live tab inside of YouTube, so you could kind of just do it from your phone.
Yep.
So I set up and I was aquascaping the top of my steampunk tank, and the phone was like more than arm's length away. Like I was pretty far away from my phone, and I could only kind of just barely read it. And so I'm working on it. And I start seeing people like say, I could read like, what's this? Why is this guy saying that? Why don't you block him? So
Oh,
some dude, I got some troll that come on and just started just saying terrible, terrible things, and I couldn't do anything about it. I'm just like, oh no. I couldn't reach the phone. I'm like, I didn't know. Even if I could reach the phone, I didn't know how to turn it off. Like, I didn't know how to like cancel them out or anything because it was all new. So yes,
absolutely.
things can happen. Just remember that. I don't know. I don't even know if you can see the chat after a video goes live.
You can
If you,
if you decide to have it that way. As a creator, you have the option of showing yes or no if you want the live chat on the repost.
yeah,
Um,
I don't even know if that was an option back then. Like because I went back and I did not see the chat when I went to go watch it before, and I don't remember it asking me, but I was just like, oh my god, thank God, because because I really couldn't do anything about it. And that's one thing about like kind of doing it alone and being new. That if you don't have a large following, you probably won't attract so many terrible people. That's kind of like the downside of like uh, having some people in your subscription, like a lot of people that subscribe to you, is
yeah.
you get the good and the bad. It's not
Well,
all good.
and I will put you at ease, I guess, slash reassure you. They still come to the smaller channels too. We've had channels with
No,
just a couple hundred members to get those people or a couple hundred subscribers. But yeah, that's a great segue for me to say thank you very much to my wall of moderators that I have in here. You all do an amazing job, not just with the trolls, but also with posting the links and showing your support. I'm going to grab a couple things from the chat real quick because I am getting behind. Scully
okay.
Fish says, Fisherman Fever, you are one of the most personable fish tubers I watch. You do great. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Scully Fish, very, very much. Fantastic Freaks with the $5 super chat says, hello, everyone. You got some nice looking tanks in the background, Peck Tech. That angelfish looks cool as well, FRF. Thank you, Fantastic. I always enjoy seeing you, and I appreciate not only the compliment, but the $5 super chat very, very much. And Sean does. Sean's got some awesome tanks. I've been blessed enough to see them in person, but you can check him out if you go over to his YouTube channel, which I'm sure we will have the links running. And there, the Zen Ginger's got a link there, and I'm sure she's dropped it again. So thank you very, very much for that. And then Danikin Aquatics right behind that. Brother, I appreciate you wearing my shirt last night on your stream. I popped in and he's got a Fish Room Fever shirt, and I was like, hey, I appreciate that, Kenny. I really, really do. Now he's throwing a $10 super sticker with the hippo turning his cap around, throwing the big thumbs up. Love you, brother. Another awesome channel member and just all around cool guy. Chewy LTD with a question says, Fish Room Fever, since your guest has said he has interviewed bands, has anyone confused him with the lead singer of the band Cage from San Diego like I did when I heard his name? LOL.
Sean, he is also named Sean Peck, and I so I discovered him by googling my name. You ever Google your name just to kind of see what pops up?
Yeah.
So I googled my name, and he's like the first 3 pages, and I was like, oh, he's on Facebook, so I friended him,
Right.
and he and I have been talking back and forth, sharing some experiences. But yes, my mom has been confused. I was wishing my mom a happy birthday, like one of his public posts, and he came on and said happy birthday, mom. And she's like, thanks, sweetie. And I was like, that's a heavy metal guy from Los Angeles. It's not me.
Oh, that's great. Oh, goodness.
Every time I see a post from him, I think I've been hacked. I'm still kind of adjusting to the fact that my name's floating around, somebody else is using it. But yeah.
Well, that is awesome. Pega's sister, Rena, let me see. She had a highlighted comment. There we go. Chat jumps sometimes if we get too far behind. It says Fisherman Fever at Peck Tech. I'd love you to see my streams and give me advice for tomorrow. So, and Rena, I will help you out as much as I can. Again, I probably can't be on tomorrow with you because Wednesday is my little boy's birthday, so we've got planning to do. But I'll be happy to come on again when it's not scheduling conflict. So thank you very much for that. Father Fish has joined us. Hey, Father Fish, I hope you're doing well. Lots of awesome people down the wormhole. Try and
Big
get
fan
caught
of
up.
Father Fish.
He does some awesome stuff, and he's been kind enough to come on and do some streams with me before. He's a really great guy.
I've been binging his channel. I don't like. I think a lot of the stuff he talks about is really fascinating. Really, really interesting stuff.
So here's something fun that you do. KG Cichlid says there are more than one Sean Peck in some of his videos, LOL. For anybody that doesn't know or somehow has not managed to get to your channel prior, you've got a funny little character on there that pops up sometimes and is mischievous.
Oh, there's about 5 of them. I cloned myself at one point, and 3 of them stole a spaceship and took off, and I haven't seen them in years. Still don't know what really happened with those guys. One guy is named Roaming Clone. He just took off one day, and he's just walking around. And then Charlie kind of got stuck here with me when the other guys took off, and yeah, he just takes up space.
Yeah, Roaming Clone likes to hit the events, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Roaming Clone. He's always going to conventions and sending me footage and having a good time. He's met all these people and stuff, but I just sit here at home.
Yeah. I do want to say thank you. I see her in the chat to Miss Fever. I would be remiss if I didn't thank her for moderating the children and trying to moderate the chat as well. So thank you, Miss Fever, for that. Chewy LTD says, LOL, I can see Sean Peck doing that at Fisher and Fever. I was his AR rep for DA Records. I guess he's talking about he can see the other Sean Peck doing that. Chewy's real big in the music industry. So that's where you get a lot of awesome questions about music from him. I think I am actually caught up. So if you do have any questions, feel free to throw them in there. But yeah, the live streaming is actually, you're, I guess, more video based, if you will, on your channel. I am trying to get there now that I have got time to do so and I'm not working 6 days a week. But I'm not, like, I've got 6 videos in process right now, and it's like, well, I need stock for this tank to finish it. I need this shot that I have in my head that's kind of to complete that. But I really started with live streams. It was where I found my comfort with YouTube. So it's been kind of a different journey for me. And I would just encourage anybody to, follow your bliss.
It's a great place to start. Yeah, it's a great place to start. If you're not comfortable editing videos and stuff, I always wanted my own television show, and I love editing video. Like, it is my favorite thing to do. I would love to do it for someone else. Like, I would edit other people's videos for money. But to do it professionally requires maybe a few more skills than I have currently. I'm kind of working towards that, but mainly, like, in real life, I'm an IT guy. So I've always been real comfortable with computers, and the combination of being kind of creative person and real comfortable with computers kind of lends itself to the editing stuff. So
absolutely. And there are so many different paths that you can take on the YouTube journey that just, I always tell people, do something you enjoy. Figure out how to do what you enjoy and put that content out. And generally, people will find it that enjoy the same thing and follow along for your adventure, if you will.
Well, and I tell people too, it's like, just to be natural in an edited video. It's a really unnatural thing to sit alone in your room and talk to a piece of electronics. Like right now, I can see you. We're interacting back and forth. Usually it's just a camera. It's just a lens, and the only thing I see, if I see anything, is myself looking back.
Right.
My first advice to anybody who wants to do videos in that way is to close that window where you're seeing yourself and look at the lens. That's super important, and I mess that up occasionally. But but you should do that, and then imagine. But you need to kind of imagine that camera is a friend of yours. Somebody you trust, somebody you love, maybe. Imagine that camera is a friend of yours and talk to it with empathy. Like, let you go ahead and have some emotion. Go ahead and have some like, you talk differently to a piece of electronics or from a script than you do to a one-on-one with another person.
You really do.
To get to there, yeah. If you get there, people will automatically latch on. They latch onto that. They notice that.
Absolutely.
A lot.
And that's one of the things that, and once you start getting a following, or even if you just got 1 or 2 people that are constantly showing up for what you're doing, Generally when I'm filming something, I've got, like my members in mind, or I've got those people that have been with me from the beginning that still show up every week and comment. And those are the people I'm talking to, like you said, versus the electronic. I know
Right.
generally speaking, you got people like Bob Kaler, Chevy Fish, Zen Ginger, so many of you all that I know that you're going to end up seeing this. So I'm talking to you all in my head just like I would here and now on a live stream, because that's the comfort part of it, and not just talking to that dry phone lens or camera lens. So very eloquently worded advice, and I completely agree with that. Fantastic Freaks with another $5 super chat says, what was the fish that really made you get into the fish keeping hobby? I really got into it after getting some pea puffers. Not directed at either one specifically, so if you would like to go first, I will allow you, or if you want to think, I will jump on it.
I didn't. I think I'm into small things, into miniatures. Not only to paint. I paint. I paint like little toy game piece miniatures and stuff like that. But and that's kind of where I started. But I wanted to make a small world. Like I wanted like almost like a living diorama. So I didn't have a particular fish that I was interested in, but I know once I got like a small 6-gallon tank, and it came down to okay, what fish can I put in there? And when I realized that was really small, and I could maybe put some guppies and and stuff, that I started like seeing more interesting fish that I wanted. That's what pushed the bigger and bigger tanks. And I remember I got my first big tank because I wanted an angelfish.
Okay.
So that's one fish that definitely made choices for me as far as wanting to change what I had to get to there.
And then just real quick for me, just in case you were asking, Fantastic Freaks, I think you've heard this story though. My fish that got me back into the hobby this time, that really made it explode, was the bristlenose pleco, specifically when they laid eggs and I had the wigglers, and I'm like, oh God, what do I do? And that's kind of snowballed into what it is now. So thank you very, very much for the $5 super chat, Fantastic Freaks. I really do appreciate that. Let's see, make sure I see some highlighted hellos. Hello, Trinity Phoenix. Good to see you, Melvin. And all right, I think that covers those questions. Bob Keller's Aquatic says, Chattanooga Ed did a video talking about your miniatures and his Sean.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's wanting.
Chad.
Yeah, he's wanting to get set up and do some more live streams and things. Now that he's almost completed his fish room, there are going to be some really cool things coming from Ed. And of course, he is my typical co-host, and then I co-host on his channel now. This is the one stream that I don't have him on with me. It's kind of like the breakaway. Let's do something different, give Ed a break and relax. But you've got, and you mentioned this before, you've got a couple other channels. If you go to Sean Peck's main channel that we have the link for, and then look over to the right, he's got a list of his other channels, so you can check out some of the other cool things that he does besides just FishTube. So
I have a drone channel, Pet Tech Air, which I haven't posted on in a long time. It was kind of like I bought this. I like to fly drones and do videos about it, and I've made, but it was kind of too boring to put on my channel. Some people really like watching, fly through the air, different places and stuff like that. So it's kind of a place to put like the high res 4K video of drone stuff. And I've got the games channel, which is kind of like my starting over channel, where I don't have a lot of subscribers or anything like that. But I talk about a wide variety of board games, a lot of hobbyist games, the expensive ones, and also the family-friendly small games and stuff that people can enjoy. And I don't post on there very often, but I try to make some good quality for the videos for that too.
Cool. And you've got about 100 games, if I had to guess, easily. I mean, when I came over and we played, yeah, your collection was very, very impressive on games. And then the other thought I would have would be, you may talk to John at KG Tropicals. I know he's totally in love with his drone and talking about his drone. He doesn't get to do it as much as he would like to. So that may be something that you could get with him on, and maybe kind of just chat about drones and play around on a live stream.
Drones are great. Drones make me wish that I was a vlogger because you can integrate them a lot. You can integrate them a lot more. What's bad is like they're pretty expensive too. In fact, I made a video. Fluval sent me the Spec 16,
Mhm.
and I wanted to do a shot where you're coming out over the trees and you go right to my house and go in the window, and then I took a phone on a gimbal and I kind of did it from the window on going downstairs and over to the table where the aquarium is, right? I thought, oh, what a great intro that'll be. So the way I was going to do it is I took the drone, I flew it as close to my window as I could, and then I flew away from it backwards really fast,
Mhm.
and then up over the tree line. And I'd done it a couple of different directions already, and I was like, well, I want to get one more. I want to kind of get it from coming over this way. And the idea is that I just reverse the footage, and as long as no cars are driving around to give away they're driving backwards, I could just kind of reverse the footage. It would look like the drone was coming towards the window without, having to stop right before I got to my house.
Right.
So I did that one more shot, and I got the drone up, and I'm hiding behind a car so you can't see me. Like I'm there right next to it, like watching at the window, and I get it pointed the direction I want. I fly it away, and I kind of watch it, and then I'm watching the screen to make sure it looks all right and stuff. And I'm kind of watching this way, and I'm looking. I was like, yeah, I've cleared those trees. I'm fine. And then, but there's like one little spindly little branch
Oh
that
no.
that I didn't see, and it knocked my Maverick out of the air, and it just plinkoed down this huge tree. I was able to find it and get my disc back, so I had the footage for that video. That video cost me $800.
Oh my goodness.
That was my $800 intro. I ended up using it still. I had some usable footage, but oh my God. And I didn't have a drone for like another year after that. And that's kind of what killed the drone channel.
I got you. Yeah,
I eventually got another one, but it hadn't been the same. I'm not nearly as reckless as I used to be.
Oh, I can imagine after slamming $800 into a tree, that kind of gives a little bit more caution. I think Chattanooga Ed was joking with John of KG and was like, "Well, just use your drone to kill the bees. That's what I do." And Ed's like, "Yeah, but mine's a $50 drone. I can slam into things." And I think he got I know he went with the Maverick. John did, but I don't remember exactly which one because he changed due to availability. But yeah, I've always loved drones. I've had the cheap ones and I've crashed them, and that's what's kind of kept me away from the expensive lenses. Well, I don't know that I want to slam $400, $500, $800 into anything. And
well, the good thing is like that was my only wreck with that drone. Once the more expensive they get, the more they fly themselves.
Gotcha.
And you don't wreck them so much. But this one didn't. Even if I'd been flying the other direction, like not backwards, that drone would have seen that branch and stopped, maybe, or there would have been a chance of it anyway. But they don't put sensors in the back. It's just if you back into something, you just do. So the more advanced they get, though, I mean, you pay a lot more. I mean, a lot more, but really, you get all that technology in there too that kind of keeps it from. It makes it less dangerous to fly.
Absolutely. I've had the thought recently that I may get kind of one of the cheap mini pocket drones for now, just because kind of going on this adventure kick, if you will. Chattanooga Ed and I are going to be doing some running around the country, I guess you could say, going to different fish tuber places, and you never know what we're going to be up to. We were lost in, kind of lost. We were wandering around Mississippi the other day, looking for some place to eat, and everything was closed. And I was like, you know what? We'll just go live and talk to everybody, and everybody seemed to enjoy it. So I think I'm going to have some more random things like that, even though they're not fishy focused. Sometimes people just want to see what the heck you're doing when they really enjoy your channel. So
sure.
But,
I think it's good to share a little bit of your life. Not everybody loves that. I've gotten a lot of criticism for vlogging on my channel, but I just do it anyway because I'm always going to do what I want to do.
Right. And you know, the YouTube algorithm may come back at you, but a lot of that stuff, if you make it like I've kicked a lot of that over to members only stuff afterwards, and that kind of helps with YouTube not smacking me quite so hard for doing it. And generally speaking, the members, the ones that are paying that monthly fee, are the ones that really want that kind of stuff anyway. So it's almost an additional bonus for them. They get to see some more stuff. You get to have some fun and show the world, and YouTube doesn't give you too many spankings for it. So, um, John
That
Cox
makes
says,
sense.
"Fish Room Fever. That was a fun video during a sad time." Yeah, that was. Yeah, and I didn't want to say real quick, and I'm sorry to take a sharp left, Sean, on you, but if somebody will throw up the link for Nathan Sand Creek Aquatics channel, we are still trying to get him to 1,000 subscribers. He was an awesome guy, and that was one of his goals. So we'd like to get him there. But yeah, we were down for that funeral, and I appreciate everything that everybody put out in honor of him. But I was like, he would really get a kick out of Ed and I just kind of lost wandering around his hometown, just having fun, because that's the kind of guy he was. He would have enjoyed it. So that's why I did it. And I hope everybody knows that it wasn't to make light of it. It was kind of a flip side, celebration versus sadness, because that's what I want. I've already told him, I was like, look, when I go, you better do a live stream and let everybody, have a fun fishy party, because I want to be remembered as that crazy fun goofy guy. So, but thank you. We've got about 13 minutes left. Do you have anything that you would like to touch on that I've not gotten the opportunity to ask you about? Any upcoming videos you'd like to give us a sneak, not peek, but look into?
So I'm working on an extremely impractical, but hopefully in the end pretty project, which is sort of a small, tiny, really indoor pond, 1.4 gallon indoor pond, kind of built paludarium style with lots and lots of rocks, more rocks than aquarium really, and that's the project I've been trying to work on for I don't know, for so long. I don't know why it's taken me so long. This is what, whenever you're like really, I can put rocks inside an aquarium and plant things all day. 15 minutes, I can do a huge aquarium. This thing, for some reason, has been fighting me and fighting me. I invite you to come see the madness this Sunday, because I'm going to finish it up this week and publish it this Sunday. I'm also showing other people's aquariums. It's kind of a new thing that I'm doing. Because I didn't do anything last week, I'm hoping to kind of do a little bit of catch up. I want maybe do a series of shorter videos where I'm showing other people's aquariums and kind of commenting and talking about it a little bit. I'm going to try to put out at least 3 of those this week, because my people have been sending me their aquariums like crazy. Like I've got maybe 400 or 500 of them banked up, and I need to start making videos about it.
You had to pull you pulled that I guess comment or whatever fairly quickly after you opened that invitation and got flooded, and we're like, maybe I need to slow this down a bit because of the awesome response to it.
Yeah, like 30 minutes, and I got like probably 200 emails. So it's a lot more than I'll ever be. I probably won't be able to actually ever show all the ones that I get, but I don't know. Maybe people. I've got kind of a lukewarm response. I'm kind of working on making it a better and better show. So I think it's good. I think it's good to take a look at other people's stuff, and it helps. Like some of it's really great, some of it's beginner. I'll say that. So I think it's important to realize that we all start at a different. Some of our first aquariums are not gorgeous, but they're having a lot of fun making it anyway. And so if your aquarium isn't like super spectacular or anything, don't worry. You're not alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you really got to start somewhere. Most people, I found most people care more about the fish that are in it than the actual overall look of the aquarium. And I think that's fine too. Because keeping a really nice specimen is hard. It can be difficult depending on what you got. So
absolutely. And then you have
that's kind of what I got going.
The occasional live stream. So, and those are not scheduled. So what I would recommend is you go over to Sean's channel while you're there subscribing, hit the notification bell. That way, when he's going to do one of those random live streams. Because those
are extremely random. It's like a rave. It's a party, and it just kind of happens out of nowhere because I get enough courage to get on there and do one, and then I'll do it. I just try not to step, like, I'll make sure nobody else that I know is doing one, and if not, I'll pop up and I'll do it. So
Absolutely, and it can be difficult. There are a lot of awesome people that are streaming now.
all the time.
So yeah, there's so many people out there. I've always said, it's bound to happen, so don't feel bad. And I know that puts you in kind of a different position, if you will, with a bigger channel than what I have. But because I know I've had larger channels say, well, I don't want to feel like I'm stepping on the little guy. It's like, well, there are, probably 1,000 people, if not many, many, many more. I just use that number that are currently live right now, not necessarily in the fish community, but you can't worry about finding a clear space all the time. So I enjoy when I see those pop
you do
off.
the best you can.
Yeah, absolutely. But those have been really fun, and I like that. I appreciate you coming on today and chit chatting with me.
I'd like to do a kind of a quick shout out to Mike's Fish Room. He had a heart attack yesterday.
Oh, Michael's Fish Room. Yeah, goodness, yeah.
He says he's okay on Facebook, but I'm hoping that he pulls through and it's scary.
Absolutely.
I had a heart thing a few months ago, and I was in the hospital, and it's I'm scared straight.
Right. Yeah. I just. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I quit smoking, started working out, eating better. One trip to the hospital, and it's terrible.
Yeah. I'm thoughts and prayers, good vibes, whatever you all believe in, if you will, send those out to Michael. I had just kind of skimmed over that, and it didn't even set in my head. I was looking for a link to post in Rack stream off of Facebook and scroll through, and I saw that. Now that you mentioned, I remember at the very end he put the "I'm fine," kind of like his cough, cough, I'm fine, and I was like, I hope so, because I know that he likes to kind of deflect with that humor, if you will. So I hope everything's okay. I really do, and thank you for bringing that up, because he's a cool guy. I've not got to meet him or talk to him, minus a little bit in his comments, but I wish him a speedy recovery.
I do too.
So I've seen Miss Fever talking in the chat a little bit about her African cichlids. I wanted to let you know that's actually the 55-gallon that I got from you. Was it last week, I guess?
Yeah.
We're actually going to use that for an African cichlid tank, kind of downsize her tank, clear out some of her stock in there, bring it down to the ones that she really, really, really likes, the really quality, nice fish, whatever she chooses. I'm not the African cichlid guy. She knows exactly what she's got going, but that's what we're going to do with that. So I will be putting that tank I got from you to use in a video coming soon. I've got to go get stuff for it. I think today after
I guess it's my turn to visit you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Show me all your stuff.
I'm working on it. I by no means expect you to be aware of it, but I've done a couple of live streams this past week where I ripped out a couple walls and expanded one of the fish rooms. I got rid of a closet, which gave me about 12 foot of additional, 12 square foot of space. I've got a tank rack that's going in right here that's currently in the middle of the room. So I've got a lot going on, but yeah, you're absolutely welcome to come over. Just give me
You're
maybe
way more productive than me. It took me 5 days to clean my garage.
I try to be. I'll be honest, the tank should have been moved for today, so you should see a double stack 40 breeder off to my right here, and I could turn the camera a little more because I'd have an L-shaped almost office of aquarium behind me for live streams. But I took a family day. It's with going down to Mississippi last week. I was like, well, I get to spend more time with the family now that I've left my job. And then I'm like, well, I haven't really spent any time with them. It's been project, because in my mind, it's still, I have 1 day off a week. If I'm not working today, everything has to be done today. So I'm still kind of shifting gears, like you had mentioned earlier, and going, every day is Saturday. I don't have to do all this today. I've got more than 1 day a week to get things done. So I was lazy yesterday and took a family day, but you got to have those. So
yeah, there's an old rap song that says, and every day is Saturday, my friend. Go to sleep, wake up, it's Saturday again. And that's,
I like that.
That's the way it's been. Only it pays less.
Right. So we are down to 5 minutes left in the chat, or for the stream rather. If you've got any questions, feel free to throw those in real quick. While I'm giving people a chance to do that, I do want to run through and say thank you to all the super chatters today. You all have been so amazing. You're always so kind to me. It's never expected, but it is really and truly always appreciated. Not just for the monetary purpose, but also for the thoughts and the thank you and the uplifting that come with that. That it means enough for you all to do that.
It's so helpful. I mean, this, you've got two expenses when you make videos about aquariums.
Yes.
So you got the video production, also getting more aquariums to do production. So those super chats really help, especially in the early days.
Absolutely. Somehow I missed one from Mike at the fish tank barn. He threw the dollar poop sticker in earlier and I missed it. Mike, if you're still lurking and listening, I'm sorry about that. I don't know how that got past me. But we did have the Zen Ginger with $2 super sticker. Mike at the fish tank barn with the dollar poop emoji. River Life, Rat coming in here with the $20 for the special guest fund. Mr. Zen, not to be ignored, with the $20 directly behind that on the anything fund. $5 from Diego at Petzotics. Gina French with the $10 super chat. Fantastic Freaks throwing $5 down. Danican Aquatics coming behind that with that $10 hippo sticker. And then Fantastic Freaks again with another $5 super chat. Thank you all very, very much. Really do appreciate it. You're all very, very awesome. And I love you. So thank you for that. See if I've got any. No more questions. I guess we did a thorough job of answering everything. I do still have that filter that you sent with me. Oh, here we go. Here's a question popped up. Pegasus Arena says, Fish Room Fever, I found a LFS within walking distance of me. I'm going to try and find out if I can record in there and try to become friends with them instead of going to PetSmart or Petco. Wish me luck. Rena, best of luck to you. It's always nice when you can find an LFS that is willing to do those things for you. You've got a couple places yourself, Sean, that are more than happy to have you. And then I've got like Aquatic Marine up from me, and you've been there as well. They are always more than welcoming to me. And Kenny at Aquatic also became a member last week. So thank you again, Kenny, for that. When you've got an LFS that is, quality, does things the right way, and they're inviting and they're not trying to keep you out and away, it makes all the difference in the world. So I hope you find one of those is happy to have that partnership with you, Rena.
I think most of the good ones will let you talk around inside there. It only helps them.
Yeah.
It's a free commercial for them. Unless they're doing something really terrible and you're shining a light on it, there's no reason for them to not let you do it. So hopefully that works out for you.
Brad, Mr. Fisher, who also just recently became a member, throwing the dollar poop emoji on the chat. Brad, I appreciate you crapping on the stream very, very much, brother. Always good to see you. Ed and I, and I'll say this real quick because it's about time for us to wrap up, but on the way back from Mississippi, Ed and I tried to stop at a fish store. I forget what it was. It was Ed's something. So he wanted like a picture in front of it and whatever. And we pull up, and they've got these huge signs, no photos, no recording, no this. And we didn't even get out of the car. We just looked, and Ed's like, I'm not going to give him my money. And I was like, I don't want to give him my money either. So drove off and sadly left.
I'd be curious to know why. Like, I guarantee if you went inside, you'd see a bunch of probably abused animals.
Probably.
Yeah, or like really terrible looking aquariums and stuff. So
yeah, and that's a good way for me to get in trouble, because if I walk in and see that, then I'm going to want to put attention on it, and I don't want to go to jail in an unfamiliar state, So
hey, they can't stop you from filming outside of it. You could always give them a Yelp review or whatever.
Absolutely,
that's the civilized way to handle that, right?
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. Hello, Priscilla, just joining us as we were leaving. Good morning to you. Thank you for popping in. So it has been our hour. Unless you have anything else, well, I'll just let you anything you'd like to say, and then I'll wrap it up.
I really appreciate you having me on. It was really, really nice to kind of kicking off my week, talking to a good friend who's local and has the same hobby as me, which is creating aquarium-centric videos for YouTube. It's always good to see you, James. So high five. There you go.
Can't even see myself.
By the
There
way.
we go. There we go.
There we go.
I have myself covered with the chat.
But take care of you and your family, and I'll be seeing you real soon. As soon as I figure out how to have guests on my live stream, maybe we'll do that too. Okay?
Absolutely. And I appreciate you not just coming on today, but everything you've done to welcome me into the hobby and your home and just being a good friend, like you mentioned. So thank you very much for that. A huge thank you to all of the members, all of the moderator team. You all do an amazing job, and you don't get paid for it. I mean, I love you all very, very much. All the lurkers and chatters, questioners and commenters, please go check out. I'm going to fix this so I can see my finger here. I'm pointing the wrong way. There we go. Please go check out this guy. Subscribe to him. I think you'll enjoy
your
it.
Finger.
Oh. I think I think that you'll enjoy it. I certainly do. And until next time, keep yourselves healthy. Keep your fish healthy. Catch yourself a little fish room fever. Take care.